Hey guys, happy Thursday, Nicole here. I am coming to you live today to talk a little different. Normally I come in here with lots of business marketing advice, but I wanted to hop on here and just kind of share with you guys some information that I have recently started paying attention to, and why you should also, and why I've made this switch. With a lot of the products in our household. So if you guys are hopping on live, say hi, let me know that you're here. And if you are watching the replay, type replay in the comments below so I can come back, say hi to you, and answer any questions that you may have. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or even here and you follow my stories, yesterday I shared a lot about toxic chemicals that you can find in products in your home. And I got a ton of feedback on it. I got a lot of questions about it. And so I wanted to come on here and just share my perspective with you guys and let you in on some secrets that maybe you haven't really ever paid attention to, because I really didn't until a couple of years ago. So for those of you that don't know a whole lot of my backstory, the reason why I decided to really start switching over all of our products in our home to more natural plant-based products was because I had, right after we got married, I had dealt with a lot of problems with hormone imbalance. I had hormonal acne, and I knew that there was something going on with it. I just didn't understand why. I figured it was partially genetic, but then I also figured there's got to be something else going on. There's got to be things that I can be doing to help kind of prevent this problem. And so I started doing a lot of research, and I realized, one, that the stuff that I was ingesting into my body and not really taking care of myself, which I 100% believe that self-care is super important. Drop a 1 in the comments below if you think that self-care is important. But I knew that I needed to make some lifestyle changes, and that started back about 5 years ago, whenever I really started to implement more nutritious foods, making sure that I was getting the nutrients that I needed. I was working out, I was being active, and I 100% believe that that played a huge role in my fertility issues that I had. So before we had our first daughter, I battled with ovarian cysts. I ended up having endometriosis, which I had to have surgically removed, and with that, it led to battles of infertility, and I had to be on medication for months before we had our first daughter. And I just knew that it was my body's way of fighting and telling me that the things that I was doing with my lifestyle and not really taking care of myself and paying attention to the things that I was using, it was really starting to take a toll on my body. And I was only 27 at the time, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't deal with this being this young. Like, what's going to happen whenever I get older? So I made a lot of lifestyle changes. Like I said, it started from the inside, and I paid attention to what I was putting into my body, and I started being more active and just really working on self-care. And I am 100% confident that that led to a lot healthier, I guess like reproductive system for me, because since then I haven't had any issues. I've had no endometriosis symptoms, no signs of ovarian cysts. I was able to get pregnant naturally. The second time we did end up having a miscarriage, but I was able to get pregnant naturally. And then about 4 months later is when we got pregnant with our youngest one, Brooklyn, and I was able to do that naturally, very easy. And so I know that making a switch in what I use in our home plays a huge role in that. So I wanted to hop on and not necessarily talk to you guys about what you're ingesting in your body, because that's a totally different topic. But I also want you guys to recognize that the things that you are using daily, that the United States government is telling us it's okay to use, are not okay to use. And if you are someone who believes that self-care is super important, then you need to start paying attention to not only what you are putting into your body, but what you are putting onto your body. So if you are watching, drop a 2 in the comments if you are someone who is finally starting to pay attention to the products that you're using and what you're putting on your body. So I wanted to hop on here because I shared some crazy statistics with my audience over on Instagram yesterday on my stories. and I got a lot of feedback and a lot of questions about it. And so I wanted to hop on and share that with you guys and share why I decided to switch over to, some different products that I'm using and how it's been extremely helpful in knowing and kind of giving me that peace of mind that I'm using things that are not going to cause harm to myself or my family. Hi, Emily. Thanks for hopping on, girl. If you guys are on live, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Okay, so before I get started, I have like tons of notes, you guys, and I'm going to go through these quickly. But I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys the right information. I've been researching a ton of stuff lately, and I want to make sure that like I said, I'm giving you the correct information and being super informative and valuable for you guys so that you can go and make better decisions for yourself. So the reason why, one of the biggest products you guys know that I've recently switched over to is non-toxic, plant-based, very botanical, vegan hair care products. It's not the only thing that I'm focused on. I've switched over deodorants. I've switched over makeup. Lots of things that I'm really taking into consideration when it comes to switching out the soaps in our house, the detergents, just the cleaners that we have, all of those things. Like, I always ask yourself, especially if you're a mom, would I allow my daughter or my son to use this and not be worried that they were going to get sick from it? And that was a big eye-opener for me whenever my daughter got old enough that she wanted to help clean, and I was using Lysol and 409, and I was like, no, don't touch that. It can, make you sick. And so then I started to ask myself, okay, well, if I'm really, really worried about that, why am I using this stuff in my home? And so I've switched over. Some of the products that I've used are Honest Company, Methodology. There's a lot of other really, really good products out there. You just have to research them and just kind of put in a little bit of work and find what's best for you. Or if you have friends who, have switched over and you know that they have, ask them, get recommendations. Hey, Laura. Okay, so I specifically wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of the products that I've used in our home and why I've decided to get away from them. And I'm just going to talk about, 4 or 5 different ones. And the reason why I chose these is because I know that most of my audience are moms, and probably 99.9% of my audience are females. And so I want to be able to make sure that I am talking about products that you are probably using in your home daily. The first one that I wanted to cover, and it's just because it's something that I've recently switched over, is my deodorant. I used to use Degree all the time, or I'd use Dove, or just kind of whatever was on the grocery store shelf, right? I recently switched over to a botanically based one called Native. And the reason why, the biggest active ingredient, if you guys don't look at your labels, you need to start reading your labels. The biggest ingredient that is in a stick of deodorant is a type of aluminum. So it's a metal. And I wrote down this information because I wanted to make sure, again, that I'm bringing you the correct information. But the biggest thing that caught me with this, if you look at the other inactive ingredients, they're really not that bad. But if you look at active ingredient, it's aluminum, zirconium, something that I can't even say. Okay, if you have a hard time pronouncing whatever is in your products, that's usually a big sign that something's wrong. So specifically with deodorants, the reason why aluminum is used as the active ingredient is because that is what actually clogs your pores and doesn't allow your sweat to penetrate through your pores. So it keeps you from sweating. So while that may be a good thing, there are other ingredients out there that can deter your body from sweating without clogging your pores. And when that happens, your skin is actually ingesting that ingredient. And when you think about, okay, ask yourself, if someone were to give me a piece of metal, aluminum foil, and ask you to eat it, would you do it? I hope your answer would be no. It's because we know that metals are not good inside of our body. But we don't think about that kind of stuff because as Americans especially, we think, okay, well, if it's being sold in commerce, like it's completely fine. But the crazy statistic that I shared with my audience yesterday was that if you guys don't know, Europe and the United Kingdom and stuff, they are one of the biggest countries that pays attention to the ingredients that their audience or, you know, their population is able to use when it comes to consumer products. And they ban over 1,300 toxic chemicals and toxic ingredients in their products. So it is very, very difficult to have a product over there unless it is almost 100% safe for the population. So think about that number, 1,300 banned chemicals. And this is going to be a shocker, okay? And if you are watching this, I want you to drop, I don't know, like the mind blown emoji below in the comments. But the United States only bans 11. That's it. Okay, so the United States only bans 11.
Brooklyn.
Hi, baby. Y'all go with Daddy, okay? Here, go with Dada.
I have fruit snacks.
So, again, when you think about that, okay, if...
Hi.
Say hi, guys.
I'm getting bigger.
Yes, you are.
I'm starting pre-K.
Uh-huh. And these two little babies are one of the biggest reasons why we've switched over a lot of our products in our home. But again, drop that mind-blown emoji. Yes, Emily, just like you did.
Yeah.
The United States only bans 11 toxic chemicals, you guys. We are more concerned about consumer produce and making money than we are worried about the health and safety of our actual population. So for me, like, that was huge whenever I discovered that, and it made me start to read labels and start to pay attention to the ingredients that were in the products that I was using. So like I said, when you're talking about deodorant, hey, go with Daddy. Go with Daddy. When you're talking about deodorant and the main ingredient being aluminum, bye baby, love you, see you in a minute. The biggest problem with aluminum, you guys, is, yes please, is that if it is in your body, okay, even though it goes through the skin and it may, sorry, this is really loud, and it may take a little bit longer for it to really start to cause side effects compared to like ingesting it internally. It's still linked to Alzheimer's disease, okay, which is crazy. My grandmother died of Alzheimer's disease, and if you don't know anybody who has Alzheimer's or has been through that, it is one of the most painful things to watch somebody go through. And so I never want anybody to ever experience that. Especially, I don't want our daughters to experience me or my husband dealing with that kind of disease. So with it being linked to that, it is also going to interfere with estrogen levels, which is part of my hormone imbalance. Okay. And so for me, that was like a light bulb moment, because I'm like, you guys, I've got to get my hormones under control, and I'm constantly putting products on my body or ingesting them that's causing these issues. And so with increased estrogen levels, all right, then it's going to be a higher risk for breast cancer and prostate cancer. So it's not just about women, but when men are using deodorant that has this aluminum ingredient in it, you're also increasing your risk of prostate cancer, which is really scary. But that is one of the ingredients that's not hair related that I thought would be really good to talk about, because everybody uses deodorant every day, men and women, and you guys just have to make sure that you're being very conscious. Sorry, my phone rang. But you just need to, if you research stuff online, you can actually find tons of natural deodorants out there. But the brand that I just started using, I forgot to bring it with me, that I'm really liking is called Native, and it's not expensive at all. So that was that one. The other one that I kind of wanted to just talk about really quickly that's not hair related either is just body wash. This is the one that I used to use for the girls. We've gotten gifts. It's been in their stockings, things like that. And it's not that people are doing it on purpose. Like, here's a, container of toxic chemicals to put on your child. We just don't know. We're not educated enough. And that's why I think it needs to be brought to the forefront more, which is why I'm on here educating you guys with this stuff. Emily, where did I buy the native deodorant? Is that what you're asking? Yeah. Just go online. You can Google it. Put in native deodorant, and they actually have a website, and you can order straight directly from them. And they have different fragrances, which they're all infused with natural oil and fragrances. So you don't have to worry about that either, because I'll talk about fragrances in a minute. But so the body wash, and I wanted to kind of throw in the detangler that I used to use on the girls' hair, which, by the way, did nothing. I feel like I wasted like $5 or $6 on this. I would spray it on their hair, and literally my brush still wouldn't run through their hair. There are so many other ingredients in this thing that are not good, but the two that the body wash and the detangler have in common, do they have men's? Yes, they do. Is a ingredient called disodium EDTA. If you want to learn more about that one, you can Google it. That's basically what I've been doing. But I wanted to just talk about this ingredient really quickly because it is in a lot of products. And when you first Google it, it says that it's completely safe. And while it doesn't have toxic effects on the body, this was the number one thing that stuck out to me with this one, was that it is a penetration enhancer. Okay, so if this is in your products and you are using natural, botanically based products, it is an okay thing to have because it's actually allowing the other active ingredients to penetrate into your hair or into your skin or whatever product it is that you're using. So it can be a good thing. However, if it's in products that have toxic chemicals in it, it is a extremely bad thing. So I wanted to highlight that on my kids' body wash and detangler because while it's not a toxic chemical, it is allowing all of the other toxic ingredients that are in those products to penetrate the skin and the scalp way more easily than they could if it wasn't there. Okay, so again, you're looking for disodium EDTA. And again, it can be a good or a bad thing. If it's in your naturally based products, it's a good thing because it's allowing those natural ingredients to penetrate. But if it's in stuff that has parabens and sulfates and phthalates and all of these crazy things that I talk to you guys about all the time, it is a bad, bad thing because it's allowing those toxic chemicals to penetrate your skin and your scalp, and they are going to release into your bloodstream way faster than they could if that ingredient wasn't in there. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is 2 hair products that I know women use all the time. The first one that I'm going to talk about is dry shampoo. I get tons of questions about dry shampoo. I actually got a question yesterday whenever I shared this information on my Instagram stories from a girl who follows me that I talked to quite a bit, and she was asking me if I think when she uses dry shampoo quite a bit, she gets migraines. And she was asking me if I thought that her migraines could be linked to the products that she's using. And my answer was probably so. I'm not 100% confident, but more than likely it probably is. And I'm going to explain to you guys why in just a second. I am sharing this with you guys. This is Batiste. It is actually considered to be UK's #1 dry shampoo. So yes, while the UK bans 1,300 toxic chemicals, they don't ban all of them, right? The US only bans 11. So if you're watching this again and that's crazy statistic for you, drop a little mind blown emoji for me. But I wanted to share this with you because I know that this is one of the #1 sellers that I see a lot online, especially when I'm talking to other women, or if a lot of women online will ask like an engagement question, like, I need a new dry shampoo. What do you guys suggest? And people have suggested the Monat Champ dry shampoo, which is by far the best one that I've had, you guys. This is day 4 hair All I did every single day, I put my Restore leave-in conditioner and I use our dry shampoo. I hardly ever wear my hair in a ponytail anymore. And I used to be like the top knot queen because my hair was just yucky by day 2. And I see a lot of feedback with people saying, no, Batiste is the best and it's only like $7. I'm not going to pay 20 something dollars for dry shampoo. And I wanted to tell you guys about this one because I know that a lot of women use this brand, and the reason why they do is because it does say voted #1 favorite dry shampoo. It's a UK product, so a lot of people that are familiar with the UK banning more toxic products than the US, they feel like that this is still a good product to use. First thing that I want to show you guys is there are 2 warnings on here. Hey, you're back. The first one says solvent abuse can kill instantly. Okay, so if you use this too much or you use it the wrong way and accidentally ingest this, like my kids got a hold of this and accidentally sprayed it in their mouth.
Mama.
I'm talking, baby. It could kill them instantly. Go. I'll be right. I'm almost done, okay? Go with Daddy.
I'll be quiet.
The other thing is that it is extremely flammable. So I don't know about you guys, but I would not want to spray this on my head. Just a second. And then, oh, can't get the door. Oh, life of a mom. I'm always getting interrupted. But I wouldn't want to spray that on my head, you guys, and then like go to a bonfire and get too close and my hair and my head go up in flames. Like, drop a little flame fire emoji if you don't want that to happen to you either. So while this may be better than some of the other ones out there in the drugstores, it is still not good for you. I just want to read the ingredients real quick. Butane, isobutane, propane, alcohol, fragrance, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a minute, and then a bunch of other stuff that I can't even pronounce. Okay, so while you guys may think that this is a great fix and it's only $7, it's super cheap, let me tell you why this is not good for you to put on your hair. First of all, I want you guys to understand that the scalp absorbs ingredients, chemicals, whatever it may be, it absorbs at a 5 to 10 times faster rate than any other body part. Okay, so while you may be using lotion and deodorant and, perfumes or whatever, yes, that stuff is going to penetrate through the skin, but what you are putting on your hair penetrates into your bloodstream 5 to 10 times faster. Hey, Nikki. I thought that was a crazy statistic because while I always rave about my hair products, now I understand why I decided to make this switch with my hair. It's not just because of the ingredients, it's because what I'm putting on my hair is way, it's getting into my system way faster than anything else that I'm using, which is crazy. Okay, so what's in this dry shampoo that's really, really bad, you guys? That first one that I talked about was the alcohol, okay? So the alcohol that's in here is actually ethanol, okay? It's just a fancier name for it. It's called something like alcohol denatured or something like that. That is a fancy way of saying ethanol. And if you guys know anything about ethanol, you know that it is highly, highly toxic. If someone was to ask you to drink ethanol, would you do it? Put a no in the comments if you would not drink ethanol. So if you're saying no to that, then why are you saying yes to putting it right directly on your scalp? Because this is where you put dry shampoo. It is directly on your scalp to absorb the oils that are in your scalp. That's penetrating 5 to 10 times faster than just rubbing it on your arm. Okay, so think about that. The next one is one of the biggest ones is talc. Okay, Batiste actually doesn't have talc in it. It has a rice starch, which is actually good. But there are a lot of dry shampoos out there that have talc. And that, if you've ever used dry shampoo and you've sprayed it and you can see it has like white on your hair, that is what we call talc, and it's a powder, and it is what helps to really absorb like the oils that are in your hair and on your scalp. But talc actually contains asbestos fibers, and that can cause respiratory toxicity, and it's also linked to cancer. Okay. The next one that I explained to you guys that you didn't think was probably that bad is fragrances. You guys have to really pay attention to fragrances in your products, and the reason for that is because fragrances can cause allergies, dermatitis, respiratory distress. It can also affect your reproductive system. So you have to make sure that whatever ingredient or whatever products you're using, that they're using natural fragrances. Like the hair products that I use, they are infused with essential oils. So the only fragrances that you smell through them is the actual essential oil fragrance. They're going crazy in there. And then of course the gases that are linked, to it, it's not a good thing. You guys know I had a sticky, that's why I'm looking around like crazy. I had a sticky about the gases as well, and I don't know what happened. My little one probably took it. But all of the gases, the propane, the isobutane, all of that stuff, that is what really helps to kind of absorb the oils as well. They kind of work together as like polymers, and they pull that oil out and absorb it. But that is extremely flammable. It's extremely toxic. Again, always ask yourself, would I ingest this? Would I drink propane? Would I drink isobutane? If your answer is no, stop putting it on your skin. And then the last thing really quickly is shampoo. Okay. I don't have a bottle of shampoo because when I switched over all of my products, I literally went through all of our bathroom cabinets in our shower, and I threw away probably about 10, 15 bottles of shampoo, and conditioner, because I knew that they weren't good for us anymore. And so I don't have any shampoo bottle to show you, but what I can tell you is I went through just a couple of things, with the shampoos. Okay. You guys know that probably 99% of the shampoos and conditioners that are on the grocery store shelves are full of fragrances. That's why they smell so good. Like, we used to use herbal essence all the time just because it smelled good. I wanted my hair to smell good. But again, what I didn't realize was that, again, those fragrances can cause allergies, dermatitis, all of those things, okay? And not only that, you don't know what those fragrances are filled with. They can be filled with all of these secret ingredients that they don't have to list on the bottle. All they have to write out is fragrance or perfume. And with that, you have no idea what that fragrance is made up of. So you have no idea what other ingredients you're actually penetrating into your scalp when you're using that shampoo and conditioner. The other thing is sulfates. Okay. I talk to my blonde girls about this all the time, but sulfates are super bad if you have platinum blonde, because it's what pulls the really pretty platinum out of your hair and turns it brassy, makes it like that goldeny brown, ugly color. So number one for me, if you're a blonde, it's insurance for your hair. Please make sure that your shampoo and conditioners don't contain sulfates, because if you are going to go spend hundreds of dollars on your hair just to turn around and put that shampoo and conditioner on your hair. Yes.
Mama.
Yes, baby.
Let me in, please.
Hang on just a second. If you are going to go and put that on your hair, you are defeating the whole purpose of just spending hundreds of dollars coloring your hair, because all it's going to do is change the color of your hair for the worse. And then you're not going to be able to fix it until you go back to your stylist and pay hundreds of dollars more to fix it. And it's just a vicious cycle. So if you're a blonde, make sure you're not using sulfates. Sorry, my husband's leaving. He's going back to work. And so with that, sulfates are also contaminated with carcinogens. Carcinogens are in cigarettes, you guys, and in tobacco products. So if you're watching this and you are a firm believer in no tobacco products, put a no in the comments, and then tell yourself, okay, if I am not using tobacco products, then why am I putting ingredients that have carcinogens on my scalp that it absorbs 5 to 10 times faster than any other part of my body? It doesn't make sense, okay? Just because the U.S. government puts it on a drugstore shelf and tells you you can buy it does not make it safe and okay for you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to hurry because these girls are going crazy. Parabens are also in a lot of shampoos, which are linked to breast cancer. And so is an ingredient, I can't pronounce it and I'm not going to try. But I talked about this on my Instagram stories yesterday. Baby, hang on. It has formaldehyde. in it, which is extremely, extremely toxic. So your shampoos have it, your conditioners may have it. If you guys are doing like Brazilian blowouts to your hair, using keratin on your hair to make it straight, that has formaldehyde in it. So please, please make sure that you are paying attention to what you're putting on your hair. Just a couple of, and again, I think they stole all my stickies, but I had wrote down some brands of shampoo that I know a lot of us are probably using on a daily basis that even the U.S. government has said are not good, but they allow them to be sold, is stuff like Herbal Essence, L'Oreal, Tresemme. I used to use Tresemme, Biolage, Redken, Suave, Johnson & Johnson's Baby Wash. All of that's just kind of what I can remember off the top of my head, but all of those brands are considered to be shampoo and conditioner brands to completely avoid. So if you are using those in your home right now, I highly encourage you to go through your bathroom cabinet and throw that stuff out and either talk with me or go online and do your own research and find products that you know are going to be natural and botanically based that are not going to be harmful for you and your family. Okay? And I just real quickly before I hop off of here because my girls are going crazy and dad left is I just wanted to share really quickly with you guys why I changed over my products and why I'm partnered with one of the best hair care companies on the market, why we were in the US and in Canada, and when we went over to the UK about 4 or 5 months ago, we didn't have to reformulate one single product. A lot of companies have that issue because, like I said, the US only bans 11 ingredients and the UK bans 1,300 plus. And so when you have a product that you're able to take into the UK and into Europe without having to reformulate and change a single thing, that should tell you right there that you are using a product that is healthy and safe for you. Okay, so real quickly, I'm just going to go through this very fast, but if you have questions for me, please don't hesitate to ask questions right here in this video or to message me. But all of our hair care products, and I'm looking down because I'm reading from our list because I know I will forget. We don't use parabens, which again, like I told you guys, could be linked to chronic disorders and cancer. We don't use sulfates, which can be irritating to your skin and your scalp. There's no DEA or MEA, which can irritate your skin and your eyes, can also be linked to chronic disorders. There's no phthalates, which long-term exposure could be toxic. And again, like I told you guys, your scalp absorbs 5 to 10 times faster than other parts of your body. No PEG, which is chronic disorders as well. No ethanol, okay, which is huge, like I told you guys. And ethanol also can be drying to your hair and what is causing frizz and damage to it. Okay, so if you have products that have that ethanol in it, or it says alcohol denatured, that's ethanol. Okay, so that's what could also be causing your hair to be frizzy and super dry and damaged. There's no petrochemicals, which can coat your hair shaft, causing moisture loss and suffocation, which is causing your hair to die and be dry and fall out, which is why a lot of women I talk to are having hair loss issues. There's no gluten. It's all vegan. There's no sodium chloride, which can build up in your tissues and cause toxicity issues. There's no harsh salt systems, which causes dryness and dehydration. A lot of shampoos and conditioners out there, you guys, have some sort of salts in them, and that's what dries out your hair. There's no harmful colors and no harmful fragrances. Okay, so again, are our products for everybody? Absolutely not. But, you know, it's worth a shot, honestly. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I always tell people that, you know, just because your best friend's sister didn't like the product and it wasn't for her doesn't mean it's not for you. I've been using the products for over 3 months. My girls have been using it. My husband's been using it. It has been absolutely amazing for our hair, and just knowing and having that peace of mind that I'm using safer products that is not, you know, putting toxic chemicals into our body, that means more to me than anything. Okay. Emily, I'm going back to your comment where you said I've had terrible scalp issues, dandruff, itching for over a year now and started using Batiste around that time. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to reach out to me, girl, and just kind of talk to me about some of the products and what I would recommend for you, I think that would be awesome. I'd love to have that conversation. Just like with anybody else that's watching. I am also going to post the link in the caption after I get off of here. If you guys have been watching me and you've seen me change out my products and you've seen my hair be better and my family's hair be better, and you're curious about it, I'm going to post a link. You can take a free hair quiz. It's really, really cool. It's actually going to ask you about issues that you have with your hair and your scalp, and it's going to give you some great product recommendations. It shoots those recommendations directly to me in my inbox, and then I can work with you on getting to know your hair a little bit better, plus the product recommendations from the free hair quiz, and then we can talk about what systems and products would be best for you to get started with. Plus, usually at the end of the month, we have flash sales. And so I'm anticipating something happening probably tomorrow or Saturday. So it's a great time to reach out to me because with flash sales, you get to save a ton of money, get a ton of product, and then just feel better, like I said, and having that peace of mind that you are putting forth the effort to make a change in some products around your house. So if you guys found this valuable, drop some hearts in the comments for me. And let me know that you are going to make the effort to go into your bathroom cabinets today, look at some of the ingredients, throw out some of the crap, and make a better decision for you and your family. So I hope you guys found this super valuable, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.